Andy Reid, you brought Corn Dog back for an encore. What happened? It wasn't called Corn Dog, but you brought it back after
Yeah,
last year.
yeah.
What happened?
Well, we put a little mustard and a little ketchup on it, and good things happened. So we call it Tom and Jerry. It's
Why
a
did you call
throwback.
it Tom and Jerry?
Just it involves a couple people, and they're dirty little rats, man, doggone. So it was a good play. But um, you know, McKinnon is part of that. So and then Pat has a Reid, and we built corn dog in, saying, well, they'll for sure they'll cover corn dog because we call it
They've
twice like
seen it.
they've seen it. So we thought that would be a good disguise. Pull an extra man out there, and then we could run the shovel in there. But they converged on the shovel, and corn dog worked out. They manned it up on the outside, and it worked.
This, I believe, is the third time in the last 52 weeks, twice at the end of last year's Super Bowl, and then this year to win this Super Bowl where you ran that same sort of motion and you just sent him back. And the guy, he wasn't as, Hardman wasn't as wide open as last year, but were you surprised that he was as open as he was?
Well, it's hard. You got to kind of pick what you're going to work on. What part you're going to cover. So I'm not questioning them because they're too good to question. That group is they're phenomenal. So it just worked out in our favor where we were able to get the thing, and we had been showing those short motions early
Yeah.
and doing other things with it, and then that one worked out okay.
The 4th and 1 play to Mahomes on the touchdown drive. I wondered, was that sort of a play?
Yeah. So this is what happened there.
Yeah.
So it was a naked a slide with Kelce. So Kelce came across the formation, slid back the other way, and towards Pat in the direction he was rolling out. Pat, he goes, "Listen, if I don't have it, if I don't have it, then I'm running it." He says, "I got it covered. I want to go with that play. I'm good with it." So we gave it to him, and he went off and did it.
You know what it reminded me of? You know how every high school has got some great athlete, and at one point in every game, that athlete says, I got this, I'm going to handle it. I thought that was Mahomes. I thought that was a called run. It wasn't really a called run.
No, well, he has the option. I mean, he's
Yeah.
the third option in that. And so he just they play man covers, they play cover two, and that's kind of a tough combination to work. If they were man, Kels gets the ball. If it's two, you got to make some things happen, whether it's an over route or back to Pat using his legs. So Nagy's the one who designed that one, so it was a good design. It had a bunch of options on it, and he took advantage of it.
This game mirrored this season. It was all uphill. Is that how it felt?
Yeah, it was a great challenge, is how I looked at it. A great challenge. And we're all in it for that. We knew this game was going to be a great challenge because they're so good and well coached. So I felt that was just kind of how the season went. It was defense taking care of business every week, allowing the offense to grow. Last year, it was offense taking off and allowing the defense to grow. And so it just kind of flipped. And once we figured it out, once we got rid of some of the drops and some of the penalties, I felt like we were right there. And then when Rasheed continued to grow,
Yeah.
opposite Kels, so those are your two inside guys, it allows you positions that you can shoot inside the numbers. They can't double everybody. And then, well, I mean, that's, it felt like you had a chance there. It felt good to see. But it was a matter of time. We need a little time to grow it. And I give credit to these coaches for the job that they did, and then the players hanging with each other. I mean, the offense hung with the defense. The defense, most of all, hung with the offense when there were some struggles, and kept supporting each other. And then special teams would burst one in there and have a big play somewhere, and so everybody contributed, which was that to me was that was satisfaction. I love seeing that. As a head coach, I love seeing that.
You got embarrassed by the Raiders on Christmas. Could you have imagined after that that you'd be sitting here with another Lombardi trophy?
We didn't know. It was a butt kicking. I told Antonio that this past week. We were borrowing their facility there, which is beautiful. I texted him. I just said, "Hey, beautiful facility, first of all, and I appreciate you kicking our tail because you taught us a lesson. You get complacent in this business. The margin between winning and losing is tiny, and you better step up. There's a time and a place where these players that have been here before, you know what it takes. You better step up. So if you're the veteran that's dropping the ball, or you're the veteran getting the penalties, you better figure it out and figure it out quick, because this season's going it's going to go down. Not only the season. I mean, we thought we'd be okay with the play, but I mean, you're talking about the AFC West,
Yeah.
so that was in jeopardy. So the guys, that's where the guys just took it and ran. I listened to them after our game, excuse me, after our the Raider game, and there was a sincerity about them, that of change,
What they
of
say
being
to
humble.
you? Who you remember?
Yeah, this crap's gonna stop like now, and we're in the Travises and the Patricks and MVS, the guys that have been here, the two tackles that were new and veteran guys that had some penalties. And so all of a sudden now, in crucial situations, they just said, okay, we got to get back to playing high level football. And mistakes are going to kill us if we keep this thing going like
Yeah.
this.
Three other things. Travis Kelce this week in practice. First of all, he plays those shorts and shirts practices like a game. He sprints down the field. He paces back and forth on the sidelines. How important is he to what you do?
Yeah, huge. Emotionally,
Yeah.
as his emotions go, our team goes. And so he bumps into me, during the first half, and he caught me off balance. I was a terrible athlete, so I tested my new hip out. But he caught me off balance, and but that's
You looked a little ticked off when he did that.
why I didn't see him.
Yeah.
He came out of nowhere, but that's him. I mean, he's so wound up and so tight. I
And
love
what's
that.
he saying? Give me the ball?
He says, "Don't count me out down here. I mean, this is it. I'm good. I can do this." So I mean, I love that part.
Yeah.
I love that part. And I'm old and I flopped around a little bit, but I mean, but I love that intensity, and it radiates, man. And you felt it. You were out of you felt it, and just like the guys feel it.
I mean, we talked about it. I was wowed about that. Here's the other thing. Saturday night, Kelce to the team. We have the formula. What was the meaning, do you think, of what he said to the team? Did you plan to allow him to talk to the team? Explain that.
Yeah, so I always have somebody talk to. I've had outside. Brett Favre's done it. I mean, I've had outside people. Suggs did it one year. So he was on the team at that time, but he was new to our team.
Yeah.
And he won a championship. So I said, listen, I've got great athletes right in this room here, great players, and I picked three of them. And this is what I told the team. I'd already done this earlier in the week, so I just said I picked three of them to talk to you guys, your peers, and that's way better than me.
Who was it? Kelce and who?
So it went in the order of Chris, Kels, and Patrick, and they were all. I didn't tell them what to say. All completely different, but all right to the point. I mean, it was ridiculous how they all hit a different topic and subject and drilled it home. And it was all important. It all happened today. So it was
Can
just.
you give me a sentence from each guy? What did Chris Jones? What was his topic?
Chris Jones said, "It's a brotherhood. We're all in this together. You don't know what you're going to have the next year. The next year, this team's different than the last team. Da da da." He says, "Take advantage of it." Kelce stands up. He takes it another notch up and says, "Listen, we have it in here. We know what it takes. Not everybody knows that, but we know what it takes. Make sure we do it." And then Patrick kind of summed it up with three things, and he threw them out there. We're champions. We hang together. We work hard, and we never point fingers. And that's special. So that was kind of their messages. And there were, I mean, guys, I went up to a couple guys to talk to them, and they were like, They had a big lump in their throat after it, which was cool. I mean, these are young guys, man. They're young guys that are emotional. They love to play the game, and to watch them come together is something special. NFL athletes, when they put their mind to something, anything really, if they put their mind to it, it's fascinating to watch. Just they can dang near do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes now has done something that hasn't been done since Otto Graham. Brought his team to the championship game every year, which Otto Graham did. And Mahomes now has won 3. You've said everything you can say about him, but I wonder, do you hold him a little bit in awe for not only the kind of player he is, but how he has that seeming Brady type of attitude in him, like it's never enough?
Yeah, I stopped the tape and practice with a coach after one of our practices this past week, and we missed one of the blitz pickups. And he just rolled out on the run, full speed, and slung it and put the ball right here on a 30-yard corner route. Like, perfect.
Wait a minute, was it to 83?
It was to 83.
I was standing there with Vic.
Yeah. So I said to him, I said to the coach, and we get used to this right here, you know. And Nag's been other places, so he knows, you know,
Yeah.
and he goes, I'm never used to this. I never get used to it. But the point is, he makes the difficult look easy, and it's at the highest possible level in the whole world. There's
Yeah.
only 32 of him in the whole world, and he's the special of the special. So I think that's great. I watched Tom Brady turn the keys over to him, which was cool. Tom said, "Hey, this is your league now, man," you know. And shoot, he took it humble, which, you know, I mean, you mentioned that. It's the person that makes it even more special. He's humble, he's competitive, he's a great teammate, good father. I mean, he does it the right way. And it's great for young guys to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not just talking about our young guys, but I'm talking about young men that are in the sport, or young ladies that are in the sport, that it's not just God given. It's what you do with your skill, and then maximize it. Every day he comes in the huddle, he goes, "Let's be great today." I mean, every day, and he does it where it's not just something that he's saying. You know he means it, which is great.
Andy, you are the steward of this great franchise, of this fantastic team that is, uh, the Patriots' heir, and who knows where it goes. And I wonder, a lot of reports, rumors about you. Do you think you coach again, or do you know right now?
I'll probably coach again. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
I got to call Belichick and Pete and tell them, let's go get back here so I don't get asked that question every day.
But you know what? I would just make this point. I've been around a lot of teams in 40 years. A lot. What I saw this week, this is a different team where your best players work like dogs to make sure that everybody, follows them
right.
and does things. It's like what Derek Jeter once said when he was asked about leadership. He said, I don't say anything. You know what I do? I show up at 7:15, 45 minutes early, and I take ground balls. So when everybody comes in to spring training, they see me taking ground balls. That's my leadership. That's how you lead. And that's what I saw this week from your team.
You do.
Yeah.
You can do all the talking you want to do.
Yeah.
But when you do, people will follow you. 99% of people want to follow.
Yeah.
So you set the highway and let them drive on it.
Last thing I would say, what was really funny about this game? I think there were a lot of people who didn't know at the end of the overtime that the game was just going to keep going. If you didn't score right then, and if the clock hit 0, you're just going to another period.
Just on to another one, yeah.
Yeah.
How great is that for TV?
It really was. I think a lot of people didn't know. There were people in the press box asking the question.
Yeah.
But what a heck of a football game.
That was great.
You said it in your press conference. It could have gone either way, easily.
Easily. That's right.
Yeah.
My hat goes off to him. Kyle's a heck of a football coach, and
He is.
John's done a great job in that leadership position there. And he knows what it takes.
Yeah.
He's a champion, so he knows.
Hey, congrats.
Thanks, Peter.
All the best to you.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.